Welcome to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. I'm Jody Walls.
I'm Brady Brock.
We're with Gumtree Mortgage here in New Albany over on Starling Avenue. We specialize in home financing needs, whether it's a purchase, a refinance, or new construction.
And we're super passionate about trying to help you find the home of your dreams, help you get it financed, just like this one right here.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Game. You come out and hit them in the mouth from the first play, we're going to be fine.
We'd like to welcome you back today to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield, brought to you by Wally Morgan Insurance and
Gumtree Mortgage. Brady Brock, Jody Walls, both those guys help us out tremendously, by their sponsoring the show. They're a big part of our season, and, just really appreciate those guys.
Well, Coach, we, got back on the right track last week, took a tough one at Ripley, and then took care of business last week against North Pontotoc, didn't we?
Yeah, really excited about just getting out on the field after a close loss to Ripley. It was homecoming week. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but just an opportunity to get back on the field to kind of get over that loss to Ripley and beat a football team at North Pontotoc. Went my whole life to North Pontotoc. I know a lot of the people over there. So anytime they come to town, we definitely want to make sure we come out on top. But our guys took care of business. They played well. Quarterback showed out, and a lot of other guys as well. But just had a really good night last past Friday night.
We know we had a great crowd there for homecoming last week, and I tell you what, they had a pretty dominant performance by you Bulldogs.
Yeah, all three phases of the game, thought we played well, did some really good things on special teams, had an awesome punt that led to a turnover. But just came out. We finally offensively hit some of our big plays, some shots. As Caleb Shumpert, Jarrell Bolin, several different big plays that led to points. And then defense played well. They didn't give up a whole lot all night. So they've been playing well recently. Just got to keep that going. I think that was probably one of our most complete games this year.
Our quarterback was kind of throwing darts around there the other night when he looked really good, moving around in the pocket and hitting his man and moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Braden, he's a freshman. He finished the year last year with us, but the growth that he's shown and the ability that he shows in the pocket is really good. It's led us all year. But this week, he went 17 for 22, had 309 yards passing, four touchdowns, no interceptions. Stat-wise, really good night. Overall, a really good night. Just his performance was really, really good. And that all starts with those guys up front. They did a good job up front protecting him. Our routes were cleaner. Receivers made plays. Anytime you're over 70% efficiency at throwing the football, your receivers are catching the ball, and the quarterback's doing a good job as well. So.
Well, we've got Mr. Matt Buchanan with us today, our high school principal. And one thing, if anybody was at the game or watching us last week on the live stream, we had a lot of pretty girls sitting around and pretty students sitting around the edge of the track there, had a homecoming there. It was a big week for you at the high school last week, and I think the entire district for that matter.
Yeah, Mr. Henry, Coach Stubblefield, I appreciate y'all having me on today. Once again, Coach, congrats on a great Friday night last week. We look forward to another good night on the road down at South Pontotoc this week. I'm looking forward to you and your kids and coaching staff creating a really great environment. Mr. Henry, we had a great week last week. A little busy. Had a really great start to the week with the community-wide homecoming parade and pep rally on Monday night. I know the seniors enjoyed a little time by themselves on Tuesday night after the dominating volleyball performance. I think that was the second round of the playoffs last week for the volleyball girls. And then Wednesday night, my wife and I were fortunate enough we got to go visit with the kids at the court party. And it was really, really good. Volleyball capped off another good win in the playoffs on Thursday. And then as y'all have outlined already, Friday night's homecoming football performance was great. Miss Morgan Pipkin and her court, they all looked incredible Friday night. And then the kids, from what I've been told this week, had a really, really great time at the homecoming dance and their festivities on Friday night. So yeah, we had a really, really great week. I know what you're alluding to. The state accountability results have been released over the last couple of weeks. The high school was fortunate enough to be an A. And that's a tribute to what our teachers and our students are doing inside the classroom.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time. Like Mr. Buchanan just said, we're very excited. Our district got their accountability results in the past week or so, and found out we're the 7th ranked district in the state performance-wise. I know Dr. Evans is, and our school board and our entire community is very, very proud of those accomplishments. And, we always say we're more than just a test score, though, right? We have so many things going on and doing so many things as far as with the high school, the middle school, the elementary, but our CTE, and just trying to do everything we can for our students to be successful.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Our kids are more than just a test score. Our teachers are more than just teachers in the classroom. They're a mom to a lot of our kids. They're a dad to a lot of our kids. And we strive daily. I know we do here at the high school, and that's not going to change when you get to your building at the middle school. Miss Hobson at the CTE Center or Miss Russell at the elementary school. They want to see the kids perform. They want to see the kids succeed. And so we're going to do everything we can as administrators to put those kids and those teachers in positions to be successful. We owe it to them, and that makes our job fun.
No doubt. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
It's finally game time. The smell of the fresh cut grass, the sound of the drums as the band gets ready to perform, and of course the roar of the crowd as our hometown New Albany Bulldogs enter the field. Jody Walls and Brady Brock with Gumtree Mortgage here in New Albany remember those days and agree they were some of the best. They also want your mortgage experience to be the best as well. They pride themselves on excellent customer service and establishing a personal connection with their clients. They also have the knowledge and programs to fit your mortgage needs. So whether you're building, buying, or refinancing your current home, they want to help. Call them and set up an appointment today. Jody Walls and Brady Brock with Gumtree Mortgage. Let them help make your dreams come true. Go Dogs!
Okay, I'd like to welcome you back to the show. We have a special guest here, Coach Ashley Conley, our head volleyball coach here from New Albany Volleyball.
Yeah, Coach Conley do a tremendous job year in and year out, week in and week out. Last week, not only football was going on, but we were in the playoffs. This week, had an opportunity to play for North Half. Just wanted to have you on the show, talk about the girls, talk about the season. Again, very proud of what you ladies have done and accomplished, and your competitors every year. Volleyball is one of our top programs in the school, no doubt. So just a little bit about your team, the season you guys had.
All right. Thank you all for having me. So like Coach Stubblefield was saying, we competed for North Half this past Monday, and unfortunately we came up short, but the girls fought hard throughout the whole entire match. I was very, very proud of them. But not only this match, all season, we came up with our 6th division title. So we got our 6th Pete, actually. So that's 6 in a row. We went undefeated for the second year in a row. And, just every single day they would come in and compete and give me everything they had, give me and Coach Buchanan everything we had. And, they were fighting for us as a whole and not as individuals. And that's the most you can ask for a mini player.
Yeah. We went, Mr. Henry, we went, Mr. Buchanan, they had loaded up a bus of kids, they had a pep bus, and that was done by the school district, the Booster Club. A lot of people chipped in to make that happen, but man, the atmosphere that night in that gym at Caledonia was unreal. I told Mr. Henry it was like going for 2 points, 2-point conversion at the end of the game over and over and over again, but just it was incredible.
It was extremely loud. I can't imagine how it was in the stands, but down on the court, I was trying to talk to the girls and I didn't even know if they could hear me when I lost my voice a little bit because I was screaming, not at them, but I was trying to get their attention and I just couldn't because it was extremely loud in there.
Well, and the game won the first set, lost the next 2, battled back. Just the fight that those girls showed from a guy that knows very little about volleyball. It was impressive to see those girls fight and battle. And like I said, we couldn't be more proud of those girls, the way they've competed and the success you guys have had.
Yes, thank you so much.
One thing I can say, Coach, and bragging on Coach Conley, is our program competes year after year at a high level. I can't tell you how much I enjoy going to watch them play and how they compete and how the kids represent us as a school district and the high school and also the community of New Albany. It's amazing to see what these girls can do. And like Coach Stubblefield said, just competing day in and day out and competing at a high level, that's not an easy thing to do, Coach, right?
No, it's not. But that's the expectation that we have set. They has set it for themselves, as well as, me setting it for them as a goal. Me and the coaching staff, Coach Buchanan and I, set it for them as a goal. Is we have that high expectation. We're not going to accept anything less than your best effort, and that goes for practice in the classroom, on the court, in every aspect that that they have.
Well, I can tell you, I'm not for sure how many 4A schools there are, but to get to the Final Four, the North Half Championship, that's not an easy task, and that's something we can be proud of.
Yes, very much. I don't know how many 4A schools we have either, but yes, to be in the top 4 is a huge accomplishment. That's what one of our goals was to get to the North Half, and we kind of knew we were going to come up against Caledonia anyway. This past season, we were the top 2 in 4A, and even in this area, our competition, I always try to make the schedule, I want it hard, but I also want to keep it to where, some of our competitors, we know we can defeat them, but I don't want to make it easy. Our division, it fluctuates every year. Sometimes it's extremely difficult and we have to work really hard to make it through. And then sometimes it can be easier than expected, but I feel like the girls did an amazing job this year.
Well, Coach, I know you had a few seniors here that have meant a lot to the program. Is there anything you want to say and kind of reflect on them? Putting you on the spot, I know.
Oh, yeah, you are. Yes, we ended up with 9. Actually, when they started out as freshmen, there were 15. And it's kind of dwindled down, and so we finished with 9 seniors. And yes, they do. We all started at New Albany together. I got here 4 years ago. That's when they entered high school, and so they do hold a special place in my heart. I've got to know the school through them, and seen how much the kids here, how much they support each other, and they support all the sports, and they just want everybody to excel. But these 9, they're silly, they're fun, they can be serious. You got to learn their personalities. I mean, I have them all the way to being just complete goofballs, and then I have one that's like super serious, and but you've got to learn your players, and it's been fun.
Well, Coach, I can tell you for all of us, it's been a great year and been an enjoyment to watch them and see what they've accomplished. And I know we came up a little short, but we're super proud of them and know there's great things happening in New Albany volleyball.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. We're going to take another quick break, and then we'll be moving on to talk about this week's game, big game versus South Pontotoc at South Pontotoc, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
Call State Farm agent Wally Morgan at 662-539-7062 today.
I'd like to welcome you back to the show, Coach Stubblefield.
Yeah, you talked about it this week. We got South Pontotoc coming up. North Pontotoc was last week. Talking a little bit more about that. We talked about Braden. Braden had a phenomenal game. Jarrell Bolin, those 2 weeks in a row, has had over 100 yards receiving. Has played all year on the defensive side of the ball for us. But the last 2 weeks has played a lot on the offensive side. We've had Caleb Shaw go down with a wrist injury. Now he's back, but he's playing with the cast. So last week he didn't play a whole lot of offense. Jarrell's been a huge addition to that offense and stepped up, played really well. Caleb Shumpert, Jeb Bowen, the 2 other guys that are playing really well on the offensive side of the ball. When we throw them the ball, we know they're going to catch it, make plays. Shump can take the top off of it. Jeb can do a lot of things underneath where, when we throw a hitch to him, he's a tough kid, can spin out, make extra yards. And then defensively, I think, you're starting to see a lot more guys on the defensive line. They're rotating guys in. But our linebackers have been solid. Our D-line, a lot of those guys are playing hard. Jaden Hicks is a young man, a sophomore for us that's playing really well right now, and I got to brag on Jaden. Then in the secondary, DJ Robinson, McKyle Cameron, 2 sophomores right there playing a lot. Logan Deaton, another sophomore playing. those guys are getting better each week. And with that experience, I think more confidence. McKyle Cameron specifically has played really well for us. Cortland Earl is another guy back there that's played a lot and has just done a good job, And then going back one more time to the offensive line, those guys with injuries and moving around, whatnot. Matthew Harris is a guy that's played through injuries. Ethan Conley is a guy we can count on at center. And, we tried to move him early, just thought it was more important for him to come back to center. But I think those guys have meshed and kind of, once we lost Ethan Cathy, you had to kind of find that groove again a little bit. And I think they've done that. And the offensive line, when we wanted to throw the ball, they protected. When we wanted to run the ball this Friday, we were able to do it. I think we averaged over 7 yards a carry too. So just a really good night last week. Going to this week, South Pontotoc, another team that's a gritty group. Unfortunately, we had too many turnovers last year, and they came out on top. But a team coached by Rod Cook does a good job with those guys. Got a big quarterback, number 10. Saw him this summer and 7-on-7 does a good job. A left-handed kid that can throw the ball really well. Last year they put some big backs in there and kind of pounded the ball. You'll see number 44 is a big fullback looking guy that they'll put in the backfield, and just a physical runner. Number 2, number 7, they'll get the ball in those guys' hands as well. So a team that's very capable offensively, and then defensively, I think it starts to stop. To me, the guy that jumps out on defensive side is number 60, a defensive lineman that really causes havoc. So a solid team in South Pontotoc that we're getting ready to play.
Well, tell the audience out there, what are we going to see from them offensively? What are they going to look like? Are they going to run a spread? Are they going to run the ball a lot?
Offensively, they're going to be multiple. They will widen it out a little bit. They'll get into some tight end H-back sets. They'll go unbalanced a little bit. Like I said, I think their quarterback is a strength there, so they're going to throw the ball a little bit. They'll see some quarterback runs. But probably buck sweep is their best play or their primary play. They're going to try to pull both guards, get on the edge, and run the football off tackle. You'll see that a lot. You'll see quarterback run some. Again, just a big physical runner, a guy at that quarterback position. So that's pretty much what they're going to try to do offensively. We've got to make sure we rush number 10, their quarterback, and then when number 44's got the ball, we got to get multiple guys around him and get him down on the ground. And then we're going to see a lot of one-on-one coverage. Anytime those guys are wide, you end up with one-on-one matchups when you have tight ends and H-backs in the game, because it puts those wideouts on an island out there. So McKyle, Cody Atkinson, Caleb Shaw, Logan Deaton, those guys, all 4 will play corner. They've all got to do a really good job out there as well.
Getting back on track last weekend was big, getting the win, but also getting back in the playoff hunt, right?
Yeah, we were 1-1 after Ripley. You knew North Pontotoc was the one we had to have to get to 2-1. I don't think it's a guarantee just yet that we're in the playoffs, but we're in good position. I think if we win this Friday night, it locks us up into a playoff position. We just need to finish this division schedule strong. A lot of things can change depending on Houston and Ripley. They're going to play this Friday night as well. So, if Houston beats Ripley, we're going into Houston with a shot at being the division champion as well. So a lot of different things can happen this late in the year.
Well, you have to control your own destiny, right? You take care of business on you and then let the chips kind of fall where they may, right?
We're definitely pulling for Houston because of that. We hope they beat Ripley. And then, like you said, we control our own destiny going into that Houston game. So, and that's all you can ask for. If you get a chance to win the division or play for the division at the last game of the year, those are special opportunities.
Well, I know you mentioned Shaw's going to try and play with a broke hand or broke wrist. Do we have any other injuries coming in this week?
We've got some guys banged up. We talked about Ethan Cathy. He's out. Emmanuel Tucker is a guy with a knee injury that'll be out as well. We had a lot of other guys banged up, but they're all going to be able to play this week. Drew Hobson's got a hand issue. He's going to be there. Caleb Shaw's got that cast. It's amazing what way he's catching the ball with the big cast on his arm, but he's going to play defense. We'll probably see him on offense as well. And then Matthew Harris is really toughing out that ankle injury. So a lot of guys that are banged up a little bit, but are playing through it. We did lose another defensive lineman, and Chance Robinson has got a knee injury. I haven't fully figured out what exactly is going on there yet. So that's another D lineman that'll be out. But that kind of goes back to rolling a lot of those guys in the defensive front. A guy that's come on late in the year is Isaac Gilbert, big, tall, 6'5", frame guy, long. Can reach through guys, just extreme size and length to him that allows him to be good on the defensive front. So you'll see him a lot. You'll see some offensive guys, Patrick Gibbs, Ethan Conley. You may see some linebackers bump down to the defensive line, and the depth that we've created at linebacker allowed us to do some of that. So really, really happy with some of the depth that's been created and some of the young guys being able to play, especially on that defensive side this year.
Yeah, I tell you what, it shows you a lot of grit about our kids, because I know Matthew Harris, it's been 2 or 3 weeks now. He's been playing through injury and things, and just the mental toughness of our guys and how they compete every week, you know, in practice and then in the games on Friday nights. It's just a tribute to the hard work y'all putting in.
Yeah, he heard it. I think the first series against Ripley, played all through Ripley game. You know, we limited him on practice, played all through North Pontotoc game with it bothering him. I've limited him a little bit this week. I think he tweaked it again yesterday. It's just something he's having to battle through, but doing a tremendous job. Matthew has really emerged as one of our leaders on the offensive line, you know, and really, really proud of the way he's playing his senior year.
Well, Coach, thank you for coming on today. Yeah. I know we want as many of you viewers to hop in the car and come down to South Pontotoc this week to cheer on the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. South Pontotoc, right down Highway 15, not too far. It's going to be a big night for the Bulldogs. You know, like I said, we want to clinch that playoff spot. Missed it last year. It definitely left us all hungry for that again. But we need you guys out there. We want you to come support the Dogs. You know, we want those guys to play as hard as they possibly can, and we want our families and our friends, our supporters in the stands cheering for them too.
Yeah, and we go hunt for that playoff position, right?
Absolutely. You know, if you're not able to make it to the game, though, if you can't get there, Chris Russell, the journalism staff, WNAU Radio, they're all going to be there. They're doing their weekly live stream. You know, you can go on Facebook or YouTube and find that on our district webpage. But they do a tremendous job with that, and so we're glad they're going to be back out there doing that again as well.
Well, and we hope Friday night we hear Mr. Saul saying we're getting to the land of milk and honey a lot of times this Friday night, right?
Yeah, you know, that's definitely my favorite catchphrase that he's got. You know, we definitely want to get him saying that a lot.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for tuning into our show today. It's brought to you by Wally Morgan Insurance and
Brady Brock, Jody Walls over at Gumtree Mortgage. Again, both those guys do a tremendous job supporting us, and we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Wally Morgan State Farm is proud to host Coach Cody Stubblefield's New Albany Bulldog pregame show.
At Wally Morgan State Farm, family is important to us. We think of ourselves as a family and our community as a family, and nothing is more important than nurturing the youth in our community. We are super proud of Coach Stubblefield and all the work he's done for Bulldog football, and we are super excited to support him and the entire team and see what they do this season. Go Dogs!